Is it time for 49er fans to panic? I mean, not about this season, because that's pretty much over, but in general about the direction of the franchise.
Could be, I think, but it depends on our work in the off season, in the next off season. If you are not going to change those in those problematic positions, I think it's time to panic. Right now, we can panic as well. I'm panicking as well. I panicked last year. I panicked in the off season. I'm always panicking.
I'm panicking right now.
I'm panicking right now.
Yeah, you just can't tell.
Because I have some doubt in myself that we can be in the Dallas Cowboys, and that would be a horrible mistake for me for Christmas, I think. So what I think of is right now you can panic, but you shouldn't. If we cannot change anything with the problematic positions, with the problems in this franchise, in this team right now, next off season, then you should panic next season.
I think there's a lot of reasons for Niner fans to feel apprehensive about next year. One, the team's always injured, so why would you expect that to change? No plan at quarterback, and Robert Saleh's probably going to leave and take half the coaching staff with him. 40 free agents, less than $30 million in cap space. Mike McGlinchey's not going anywhere. Eric Armstead's not going anywhere. There's a lot of reasons to be like, is this team really going to bounce back? Because it seems to me that the Niners have made a ton of mistakes in the past 4 years building this team. And they keep bailing themselves out by developing some 6th-round pick or some undrafted guy. But it seems like as time goes on and they make mistake after mistake, the accumulation of mistakes will come back to bite them. And entering year 5 without a quarterback, if they don't get the quarterback right this offseason, it could doom Kyle Shanahan 2-3 years from now. So it seems like it's getting close. They got to get some stuff. They have to have like an all-time draft this offseason, this year.
And hopefully they will do that. But last time I said that in every 3 years we are going to get into the Super Bowl. So next year, probably we will not. If we are just talking about tendencies by Kyle Shanahan. Next year, no Super Bowl. I will be surprised if there will be playoffs. I think that we will start a new rebuild for this team next year. And that's sad, I think, after 4 years, that if we have to do those rebuilds in every 4 years, that's a problem. And that's how you not build a dynasty by a team. And okay, it was the quote of the team that brick by brick, building a team brick by brick. But come on, man, in 4 years, I would build a house by myself for 10 for my whole family. So
how many bricks do you need? How much time do you need to build this house? It seems to me what the problem is that some of the bricks in the foundation aren't so good and they have to start over. So let's move on. How does the 49ers future look right now? We alluded to it. It looks like they may have to do a little rebuild next year because, again, 40 free agents, less than $30 million in cap space. A lot of that's going to go to Trent Williams and Fred Warner. And just to create the space to give them the money, they're going to have to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo, Dee Ford, Weston Richburg, a lot of guys that were like supposed to be cornerstone members of this team. Now they need new cornerstone members. They got Mike McGlinchey. That's one. Other than that, they're looking. They're looking. So is this a rebuild? I mean, not just that, but the defense is going to have a new coordinator, most likely. Could have a new scheme. It could be a 3-4. Who knows? It'll be interesting.
I think that they will rebuild half of the team at least, because if they can just make an okay offensive line, then they just have to work with the defense. But I think that there are some players on the defense who can be a good basis for this team to build a house on. Maybe Fred Warner, Nick Bosa,
yeah,
and I would say if we are going to resign Jason Verrett, he can be a great part of this house in the future. So I don't say that in the near, if I am talking about the near future, it is bright. I would say that right now it's near to dark for the next year.
Here's what I want to say though, real quick. If you really believe in Kyle Shanahan and you think he's a great coach in the making, who has just been held back by quarterback play. I mean, look at the quarterbacks he's had in on the 49ers. You could argue he hasn't really had a starter, unless you think Jimmy's a starting caliber quarterback.
Yep.
You could say that, Salah's going to leave, and they're going to lose some free agents, and they're going to have to do a little mini rebuild, but they're still going to have Kyle, and theoretically they're going to get their quarterback, whether it's Lance or Trask or Wilson. They'll get whoever Kyle wants, Kyle thinks is the best option. And if he's as good as certain people think, then that should be enough. He should be able to finally carry this team with his offense and not rely on the defense to bail him out the way it has the past 2 seasons. So if Kyle is the real deal and he picks the right quarterback, they should be fine. They should be able to. I mean, they still have Debo, Kittle, Brandon Ayuk. They should have an offense that is explosive next year, I think, if they get the quarterback.
Well, the thing that makes
and an offensive line. Sorry, keep going.
No problem. The thing that makes me shaky, if I think of Kyle Shanahan, is that even though I thought that he will be great this year, and even though I thought that he was great last year, he made some crucial mistakes, which we haven't seen doing by Robert Saleh, and that's why I don't think that we spoke about that before, that I don't think that Kyle Shanahan is as great as a head coach as some people is thinking of. Are thinking
I agree.
So
he's great at one
mind.
thing.
I don't.
He's great
mind.
at one thing: designing plays.
Yep,
but that's not being a head coach.
Yeah, and that's why I don't mind that. I can easily say that Kyle Shanahan can be easily the bright spot of these 49ers, because I don't think that he can be single-handedly just turn things around and make this team great again, because next year he will lose probably the best defensive coordinator in the league right now by losing Robert Saleh. So he has to find somebody else to be in that position next year. And if we want to be honest, last year and this year as well, the strength of this team was the defense, not Kyle Shanahan.
Right. To me, with Kyle Shanahan, where he's deficient as a head coach, is the same way that Andy Reid is deficient as a head coach. Game management. These guys are both really great play designers. The 2 best in the world, you could argue. I mean, Andy Reid from the shotgun, Kyle Shanahan from under center, they're the 2 best. But when it comes to like managing the clock at the end of the first half or the end of the game, they're not good at it. And it held back Andy Reid for like 30 years, and he finally has the greatest quarterback of all time, so it doesn't matter. Like they just blow teams out. And I feel like until Kyle Shanahan gets that kind of quarterback himself, he's always going to hold himself back. And we saw it again last week. I keep coming back to that one play. When Kyle Shanahan loses, he loses in the same way. It'll be like one play call or 2 in a game where the game situation, spot on the field, score, and time on the clock, those 3 things dictate run the ball. In the Super Bowl, both times, run the ball. And he won't. He'll pass in a critical situation, and it'll be sack or whatever, interception. It happened with Atlanta. It happened last year in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. It happened at the end of the first half in this one. He's pass happy, and he doesn't quite understand how to win games in terms of game management in ways that Harbaugh got when he was here.
Yep, but you know what? I'm pretty sure that 2 things will stay with the 49ers until we are going to fire Kyle Shanahan. First of all, after every last game, we can just say that the plays were there. And the other thing, that Mike McGlinchey is still here.
Still here. Hey, plays were there, and he's still here. The plays are there.